But we don't just want to do with that. We want to call names and be sure you are here with us. So please bear with us. If you hear your name, I just want to hear your presence or whatsoever you have to say to mark that you are here with us. I will start with Chaplain Ibidakobe Afolakemi. Is she here with us? Chaplain Ibidakobe Afolakemi. Please, if you are here with us, just unmute yourself and say something. Let's hear you. Chaplain Samuel Omoni Yaremu Akinyemi, are you here with us, please? Unmute yourself. You are here with us and say something. Chaplain Kamaru Tawa Kalitu Olaide. Chaplain Mike Ignatius Akpan.
Yeah, present.
All right. Thank you. And Chaplain Tomorrow Benedict David.
Present,
Benedict.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Chaplain Agu John. Thank you so much. Chaplain Agu John.
Present, sir.
Chaplain Adebowale Benga Samuel. Are you here with us, please?
Present, sir.
Adebowale, is that Adebowale? All right.
Yeah, this is Adebowale Benga Samuel. Present, sir.
Beatrice. Beatrice, are you here with us? Chaplain Beatrice. Okay. Chaplain John Benson in Mariagbe.
Present,
Chaplain
sir.
John Benson. All right. Chaplain
Present,
Joseph Akinola. Joseph Akinola. Joseph Akinola.
Present, sir.
Chaplain Akoni Akola.
Yeah, present, sir.
Akoni Akola Wale Kale. Chaplain Samuel Magdalis.
Present, sir.
Samuel Magdalis.
Present, sir.
Thank you, Samuel Magdalis. Yes. Chaplain Oguyemi Samson Ojo. Chaplain Oguyemi Samson Ojo. Chaplain Oluwagbemiga Peters Oge. Oluwagbemiga Peters Oge. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, that was okay, James.
All right. Chaplain
Samuel is
Ojetayo
present.
Simeon. Chaplain Ojetayo Simeon Olusegun. Ojetayo Simeon.
Samuel is present.
Samuel Magdalis.
Samuel is present. I can see him.
Okay.
Marked already. Okay, is present.
Okay.
Ojetayo Simeon Olusegun. Ojo Fumilayo Deborah. Chaplain Ojo Fumilayo. Chaplain Daniel Jonathan, pray. Chaplain Daniel Jonathan, praise. Chaplain Moses Phillips. Chaplain Moses Phillips. Yusuf Fumilayo. Yusuf Fumilayo. Rosemary Waja from Kenya. Ngozi Linda Ogundipe. Chaplain Ngozi Linda. Egunjobi Charles Ayodeji. Egunjobi Charles. Tijani Adenike. Tijani. Faith Ibe. Faith Ibe. Adeleye Yemisi. Sonny Success. Success.
Present, sir.
Who is that? Is that Success?
Samuel. Samuel Badele.
Okay. Jane. Jane. Chaplain Jane. Okay. Chaplain Olalekan Adeleke, is he here with us? Chaplain Grace Ojo. Chaplain Ashiru Oluwabumi. Ashiru Oluwabumi. Chaplain Omolara Awoshika Cherry. Is he here with us, please? Chaplain Adedoyin Adetuji Theophilus. Dr. Yemi Faith Alfred. Chaplain Ilesome Olu Yemisi. Chaplain Ade Jola Olalekan Adeleke. All right, those are the list we have for now. I know some of them, they're online with us. I don't know why they didn't answer yes or no. You must understand why we are doing this. We are not just here to fool ourselves, and we must be sure of those we are training. So we want the presence of everyone, and we want participation in this class, at least for us to know we are really learning, and not just to on the phone and start doing something else. That's what we're calling the numbers. And we have to make use of this attendance for other purposes that you'll get to know later. So thank you for joining us. If you have heard your name or marked your name, congratulations.
I did not hear my name.
What's the name, please?
Oluwadele Samuel.
Said that. Oluwadele Samuel. I've mentioned that.
Oluwadele Samuel.
I have mentioned that. Okay, please, you can mute your mic, please. So without wasting much time, we are expecting others to join us as we proceed. I will hand over the platform and the teaching of today to the Chief Chaplain.
I did not hear my name, sir.
What is the name, sir? What is the name, sir?
Anomolati Adeyemi Alex is my name.
Repeat that, sir.
Anomolati Adeyemi Alex.
Alex James,
Yes.
Alex.
All right. All right. Noted, please. Is there another one here that didn't hear his or her name?
Hello, good
All right.
evening. Sorry,
Good
please.
evening.
I don't know if my name was called. Service knocked me out, so I'm just joining now.
Is that Linda?
Yes, please. Good evening.
Your name is mentioned, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Another one, please. All right, without wasting much time, we'll still get back to that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. What's the name, please?
Chaplain Dr. Sam.
Hello.
I'm with you. What's the name, sir?
I'm Chaplain Peter.
Sir?
My name was Bob. The network was cracking when I know was mentioned.
Chaplain.
Okay, Peter. I don't know if you had me when I
Dr. Sam.
Pardon?
Makiyemi Omoniyi.
We have mentioned your name more than 30 times, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello,
So,
sir.
your sir, Chief Chaplain, sir.
Yes, James.
I would like to
Hello, sir.
hand over the floor to you, sir.
Okay.
This is the Chief Chaplain from Puerto Rico, the Vice President of the U.S. Federal Chaplain Association, and also the Chancellor for the Regnum College of Chaplains and Seminary. So he's here with us today to proceed further in this refresher course. I will just enjoin us all to be attentive and to put anything down that we feel we want to ask as a question. When it comes to that time, we'll be given that chance to ask various questions we may want to ask. Please, I want us to be a good listener. and to bring more questions from whatsoever we have learned from him. So thank you so much. Over to you, sir, the chief chaplain.
Very well. Please mark OGE Peter as present in the training.
Yeah, okay, yes, I've mentioned his name. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Because
you,
it was cracking, I was answering my name. The network
That's
was
okay, Peter. Don't worry about it. This Peter
very
here is saving the day for you. Don't worry.
cracking. Thank you very much, sir.
We have more people entering.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning from Puerto Rico, which is our daytime. Good evening to you, or good afternoon to you in your country of Africa. Last week, we were talking about protocols and procedures in such a way that a lot of people in your writings for your homeworks, which I am very satisfied to have received your homeworks, assignments. And I am also very satisfied that you have interest and you send me emails asking me particular questions, which I'm also happy to reply to. That is something that is very interesting, I find, from this class that I'm dealing with, because in other classes for basic students, they don't ask questions, and they should be asking more questions than you people that are in the advanced class. But I am extremely happy that if you have a question, that we can get together, or we could always chat on WhatsApp and so forth. I want you to ask, and don't be afraid. I do not bite. You will understand that there is hours of difference between your country and my country. So when you are awake, I am most probably sleeping. When you're getting ready to go to bed soon, it's going to be my afternoon here, and so forth. And that is a very interesting thing. Now, we looked at different types of possibilities and programs where I don't know whether it's done in your country, but they're called ride-alongs, where you ride along with the different people that you're working with to see what goes on in the community, what goes on in the business, and so forth. You also have arriving at a scene of an accident, where you've got to find out who's in charge. You've got to find out who is the person that is dealing with the incident and what your services may be. You may even be involved at a prison riot. And there are a lot of protocols that you have to ask about or know about. You just don't walk in because you're a chaplain. And I mentioned something, and somebody mentioned to me in one of their homework assignments, and I'm not going to give out anybody's name, but if there is a lady, a woman, as a chaplain, they are to be treated with the utmost respect, as though you would like to be treated as a chaplain being a male. We are not downbeating. We are not belittling a female being a chaplain. Okay, and that's something which I was asked about. And again, I'm not going to repeat on who said what, but the idea is that chaplains are chaplains, be you male or be you female. And if there is a woman that I go to a scene, even though I have the title as chief chaplain, I always report in to the chaplain that is there in charge. Even though I can take control of the situation immediately, I don't do that. I don't take away somebody's authority that they have already started and they're running the incident or command of a center. And though I've got 4 great, beautiful stars, I don't look at the rank that I hold. I look at what I can do to help the person that is in charge. Okay, Alfred Jemmy, we know that you're here. Okay. Chaplain Jonathan, Johan, Jonathan. I'm going to mute you. Okay. So one of the great things that I want this to be something, because men feel that we run the show. If we start that in a question of a crisis, that the man is the supreme leader and so forth, we will run into problems. Why? Because you need that person that's a chaplain. Be it a male or a female, we need each other. And if you cannot understand and you belittle the person of the opposite sex that you may be, if you're a male, you're talking about a female. If you're a female, you're talking about a male. Everybody has to work together. Now, you may run into an issue where a chaplain is a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a doctor. Once the doctor tells you to stand back and let them in to see the person, you cannot argue with a professional doctor. You cannot argue with a professional psychiatrist or a psychologist. Why? Because they are doctors. And if they're seeing that a person is out of control, they need to get in there to that person and take care of them. They're not trying to overstep you. They are trying to help you get that patient or that person that's going through trauma under control. The medical profession will always have a preference at any emergency, including prison business, riots, accidents, kidnappings, and whatever. Why? Because there is a lot of trauma, a lot of tension, and you need to realize, okay, you need to realize that it is still teamwork. They're not trying to take over your position or belittle you. I'm making this clear because of the way the particular person, and again, I'm not giving out names, made a comment. And the person is here that made the comment. And again, I'm not giving out names. But I don't care who, what, or what you may be. You may be an ambassador. You may be a school teacher. But if a doctor says stand down and let them in to the scene, you gotta let them in. Medical professionals are extremely needed, both as psychiatrists, both as doctors, and both as professionals. If a police officer turns around and tells you that you must, you must step back so that they can get in. You must obey the police officer, because at any incident, any type of an issue, the police are in charge of the scene. We as chaplains may be in charge of the chaplains, but the police, the fire department, emergency medical have preference. You could be a doctor and you're helping them. That's fine. That's great, because you're doing a double duty, chaplain and a doctor, chaplain and a psychiatrist, chaplain and a psychologist. And it is very important that we don't underestimate whether you're a male or a female. That is what is called teamwork. It's like putting your both hands together and praying. Remember that, praying, because you need all the help that you can get at any type of an incident. Now, I was at an incident that I was driving on the highway, and I saw a fire truck completely turned over. And I said, I have never seen that in my life. And I'm 73 years old. I've never seen a fire truck turn over riding on a highway and get flipped over like they were flipped over. That wasn't seen in a hurricane video or a tornado video. And I stopped. I asked the person that was driving me, please stop, put on the emergency lights, and let me go over and see what is going on. The person that was driving that fire truck stole the fire truck from the firehouse. He stole the truck from the fire station. I was shocked. Now, you're talking about a truck that's a couple of $100,000 that was completely rolled over. Thank God there were no firemen. There were no firemen or any other personnel on that truck. The driver is in bad shape, and then if he comes out okay, he will have to go to jail. Now, the driver was conscious to a point where he didn't want any chaplain's help, and I turned around. I gave my name to the officer that was there so that they know that I entered and left the scene. And the officer already said, well, we already know who you are, Sherlock Holmes. I said, gee, I'm retired from that position of Sherlock Holmes, and I'm a chaplain. He says, we know, but we know you, we respect you, and you're welcome anywhere that we're at. I said, thank you, thank you. They escorted me across the highway to get to my vehicle, and I left the scene. Now, I didn't go in there as chief chaplain and ordering everybody else around. I didn't push the other chaplain that was there around, because there was a fire department chaplain and a police chaplain there at that time. Now, the police chaplain was a woman. As a matter of fact, Myra said to me, Chaplain Smith, it is so good to see you. It's been a very long time, and we're happy that you're still here in Puerto Rico. She explained to me what was going on. I said, the scene is yours. I am not taking control of it. I was just passing by, and I saw what was going on, and I stopped, as I always do. And guess what? That guy got out of the hospital. And as soon as he got out of the hospital, he was trying to figure out what happened to his handcuffs, but the cops had taken the handcuffs off him because he wasn't running anywhere, because he couldn't walk. He needed crutches, and they didn't give him crutches. And when he got outside of his room, they placed him under arrest. So remember, regardless of who anybody is, please remember, treat everybody with respect. Learn who your team members are, who's in your group, and who you can count on in case you need help. If you have an issue where a woman has been violated, you would probably want to look for a female chaplain, because it is my understanding and my way of seeing things that women tend to talk to a woman about those issues a lot better than a male. The same thing with children. Just because we're a chaplain, we've got to be careful on how we deal with children. And I'm bringing this about forth because I heard an issue up in the States, and it got back to me down here in Puerto Rico, that a male chaplain was intervening with a woman that was really, 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 really attacked. And the male was asking questions unprofessional as a male. I can tell you now that that male is no longer a chaplain. He's gone. He didn't even have to go to a hearing. He was removed, from what I understand, immediately. But we have to remember, in every situation, there's a way to treat people. Now, I'm not going to treat you different because of the color of your skin, or whether you're a male or a female, or what your religion is going to be. Because we all have the same job to do, to be a chaplain. Does anybody have a question on this part up to now, so that I can go into the next part? If you have a question, just type it into the room. Which will be a lot easier than trying to mute, unmute people and so forth. So go ahead, click on the chat button on the bottom, and your questions will be seen. Make sure it says where it says to everyone, so that everybody can see the question. We are being recorded. We're also being seen on YouTube, and we're also being recorded here. We are live, so that if anybody has any questions, we are live. I don't see anybody typing in any questions. All right, if nobody has typed in, we've already looked about confidentiality. We've already looked at the position that you may hold and how we treat our counterparts, be male or female. Now, okay, Yashimi Mo, thank you very much. Or yeah, YEMISIMOMOH. Thank you very much for the message. Okay. What do we do What do we do if we come across somebody that wants to commit suicide? Be it with a gun, be it with a jumper, be it an attempted suicide. And the common misconceptions about a suicide. Okay, I work with the center. Okay. I'm seeing something here. Chief of Chaplain, so I greet you. I work with a center that handles violence against women. The lady came in today that was abused badly by her husband, baby daddy. Okay. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens all over the world, not just in your country. It happens here. In Puerto Rico, it happens in the United States, England, Canada, wherever you want to do, it happens. You had no, wow, you couldn't take them in because there was no space in a shelter. That's ridiculous. I'm shocked. The municipal government and a baby, 6-month-old baby that was malnourished. It happens. I understand that it does happen. By the way, I'm reading texts that are being put into the chat to me. And the lady hadn't eaten all day. Okay. Is there a question that you're looking for? Because now that you gave me a small synopsis, is there a question with all that information that you have given me on that synopsis? Okay, that is very good. That you fed her, you brought diapers and some provisions for her. Very good. Sometimes we do have to lay money out of our pockets. You didn't know. Very good that you did not give cash. Okay, very good. I don't give cash to anybody. Those days are over. Now your question is, it is not the responsibility of the chaplain to take somebody in for somebody that needs professional care or help. There've got to be different types of organizations or groups. You can't be responsible for what the government or the municipal government or the city, the town or province. Oh, your shelter is being funded by you privately. Wow. It happens. It's happening. Money. Yeah, well, the governments always cry when it comes to helping people because in many cases they just don't care. I understand that. And sometimes they do care. You have to put pressure on the government to get community support. And I know you have to be careful of doing demonstrations and strikes because of issues that can happen. But if you just don't have the fund, that what you need to do as a group, as your organization, is prepare a fund. Yes, it's hard, but you need to make something up which is called contingency funding. Contingency funding is where you have a backup supply of funds, just like you would have a backup supply of food water, rationings, medical equipment. Okay? You need to separate and set up your funding in such a way that you can attempt to have funds available for different issues. Now, about not giving them money, that is very good. I don't give anybody money. I don't give anybody money. And I'll tell you why. If you see a drug addict on the street and you give them money, they're not going to go buy food, they're going to go buy drugs. If you see a person on the street that's a beggar, you're not going to give them money. What I would do if I really see that somebody's in bad shape, I'll walk into a hamburger place or something like that and buy the food and give it to them in their hand. But I do not give out money. Giving money is going to make you become a bank. We are not banks. And I'm not suggesting to give money from your own pocket because you're already funding a group or an organization. If we have to give monies out to people, we're going to be broke. And don't promise or attempt to take them to your home. Okay. That you would have to speak to Joseph or Chaplain James, because I do believe they are recording. I understand that. And either Joseph, Chaplain Joseph, or James would be the ones to give you the information on the recordings. And that message came from Chaplain Dr. Sam as a direct message to me. Chaplain Johan, yes. Teamwork to mean working with other experts, respecting each other while focusing on achieving the one necessary goal. Going back to the people where they couldn't get money and there were funds, you need to set up different type of funds within your organization. I know we can do that here. I have a group set up for the police department for a community police program that I recently finished being president after 15 years. And I was president for 14 years in another town. And I left them with a good deal of money that we had set aside to use for different issues. And you've got to set up your funding based on that type of a deal. Okay. No. Okay, I got to admit that person and admit that person. Okay. Well, substance would be either food. Substance would either be Pampers for a child, but you can't always have Pampers and give it out. You have to realize that people have different wants and needs. And I don't know why the local governments, I do know why, because it's your country, but I don't want to get into politics to the politics because I don't want anybody saying that I'm bad mouthing your country. But the issue that you're having is a worldwide issue of funding. Imagine during coronavirus, okay, during coronavirus, we were having issues all over the place. 5 years ago, over 5 years ago, we had Hurricane Maria here in Puerto Rico. I still have over 3,000 people that doesn't have a roof. They were given a blue top, and those blue tops have gotten old. It's a problem all over the place. And Puerto Rico is part of the United States of America. So if you have some Pampers or you have a shirt or slacks or a dress or whatever attire that you may use within your country, if you have it, you can give it. If you don't have it, don't make a promise that you're going to get it. Because if you can't get it because you can't get the funding, then you're going to look bad. If you give food, I hope you have a good person that's supplying the food, so that you can give away food. But you don't want to take food away from your family because you'll find people knocking at your door that I need food, and you're not going to have it. You have to be careful. I don't know if I'm spending too much time on this, but the questions that are coming up are very good. I like the questions. They're outstanding questions. But there are issues in every single country. I don't have a cure for those answers because I am not dealing with your government. It is just like that James had me give a conference to some of the police in a community group. I don't have the answer for their questions because they don't know how to deal with the people. That if you do volunteer work for the police department, they want people to come across and give out the information to them, and they're going to give them away to say, no, George said this, Howard said this, Elizabeth said this. That's not the way it's done if you want community help. Let me tell you something that I didn't expect. Some of these questions that you have asked, and I appreciate them. And I'm not belittling anybody's questions. The questions are legitimate questions. And I respect you for asking those questions. And somehow or another, you may have to look for international groups to try to help you get funding for your community projects. United Nations, local businesses, local action groups. It's an issue, and I know it's an issue going on all over. I got a call the other day for 50 turkeys. I don't have 50 turkeys. And I am definitely not going out to spend my own personal money for 50 turkeys because there was one place I went to buy a turkey for me that was $61. And I says, I've never seen a turkey for $61 in all of my years. And I am not a bank. I am not an ATM machine. But it's difficult. I understand it. And I don't keep extra clothes here. Occasionally, I make a change and I can do things. But the greatest problem is that the issues that many of you are facing, it's being faced and having the same issues worldwide. You have to look for groups. You have to look for groups. And you have to look for the funding. I don't know what more to say about that. And I don't know if anybody else has any more questions before I can continue with the rest of the training. But the questions that have been asked up to now, I am extremely happy with. I understand your concerns and I understand your issues, but fundraising has got to be done as a priority. Because you cannot feed the world by yourself. You cannot put clothing on people by yourselves. And it's sad. I know. Okay. I'm just going to take a little tiny drink of water here. If anybody else has got any questions to ask, type it in now. I haven't talked such a long time for 45 minutes solid without taking a break or anything like that. But that is life. It's worth it because I'm teaching you people and I'm teaching you all. And when I say you people, I mean both male and female. Okay, now. All right. Okay. I started off by saying a person that's dealing with the suicides, a jumper, a man with a gun, attempted suicide. Okay. Now, there are what you call suicides, a jumper, either a man or a female with a gun, attempted suicides is called the safety zone, and common misconceptions about suicide. Very quickly, I'm going to explain to you what a zone of safety. When you go to a suicide attempt, you must maintain a zone of safety for yourself and the people that may be around egging the person on to jump. The reason why very well, Chaplain Joanna. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Thank you. A safety zone is for your protection. If the person has a gun, you're going to go behind some very strong metal. Okay, you're going to go behind some very, 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 very strong metal. And that very, very strong metal will protect you if that person is going to shoot or use the weapon. If you're going up to a jumper, you don't want to get up close on them. You need to stand back and back and back, because you don't want to be pulled in as the jumper is making the jump. You don't want to be a victim of the jumper. And you don't know whether the jumper or the person. All right. Let me see if Joseph is here to answer that question. Joseph, Chaplain Dr. Sam says that the network is poor in Ohio State, very difficult to enjoy training. Hope to have all the training clips after the end of the course. And he doesn't mind the cost. Is that okay for you, Joseph? Will you get back to that person? Is James here?
I'm here.
Okay, James, Chaplain Dr. Sam is asking, since the network is very poor in Ohio State, very difficult to enjoy training. Hope to have all the training clips after the end of the course training. And they don't mind the cost. Can you or Joseph deal with that issue?
We have been sharing the audio of the program, even the video of what we did last time. But
okay.
We don't just want them to be fond of that, because some of them are not go and listen to it. So we want them to be in the class. We are not encouraging the recording. We are encouraging them to be in the class.
Okay.
So
well, at
because
the same
if
time,
we share to them, some of them are not going to. We want to be sure what we're doing. Then Chaplain, hear me see, Oluwa, hear me see. He lays on me. I'll be texting you not to sleep. We have been monitoring every one of you. Please don't sleep again. Don't sleep. Chief Chaplain will ask you a question and you must answer. So we must be very sure of our students and be proud of our students. You sure understand what I'm talking about? So thank you, Chief Chaplain.
okay. What is important that you don't get close to the person. If you get close to a jumper, you don't know if they have a knife or a gun. And you don't know what their mental state is because you're not a medical professional. Medical professionals should be the ones dealing with a jumper, or a police department specially trained person, fire department specially trained person. If it's military, the military has people that are trained. If it's a hospital patient, the hospital has got people that are trained to deal with that. And the great issue is that a zone of safety for yourself is priority one. Priority one for being safe. Because I don't want James or Joseph or Sam or Michael or anybody come. Oh, we lost the chaplain because they didn't follow your advice. I'm not only giving you advice, I'm telling you how it is. And by the way, I try not to get involved in jumping issues or suicidal tendencies. because suicidal tendencies are very dangerous. I know how to deal with them. I've had a lot of training. But I don't have a background of the person that I'm going to deal with. Now, if I had your file, I said, okay, Michael, I've got your file here. I know what the other doctors have done for you. I have an idea why you're crazy. I can deal with you. But if you're coming to me, Michael, for a first time session, I have a lot of questions to ask you, Michael. And all the questions that I've got to ask you, you're going to say, you know, why am I asking you all these questions? Well, Michael, I got to get to know you. And then you're going to say, yeah, but why do you want to get to know me? Because, Michael, how do you expect me to treat you if something happens and I get called to the scene as being your psychiatrist or psychologist and I don't know anything about you? I got to play toesies. I got to try to figure out where you are, what you're not. And Michael, you may just be hungry because I know you eat a lot, Michael. And you may have not gotten your lunch. Boy, I enjoy picking on Michael. He really smiles really good. Very good, Michael. Very good, very good, very good. The issue of dealing with professional problems like that, you got to get training, go to seminars, look for people to have seminars and trainings. I know that we are going to be having seminars that no other organization in Africa has. Okay. Okay, we got people. Mute you and mute you. Okay, people that have their microphones open, I'm trying to mute you because it's interfering. Engineer, if you could, okay. Now, the other issue is John has got a very big issue. John just lost somebody. He lost his best friend, his dog. John is all heartbroken. John is going to attempt, he wants to go join where his dog is. I got to try to stop John from doing that. And Michael's not going to help me because Michael's got his own problem. And John's not going to help me with Michael. But then again, I got to remember what Michael's problem is because he's still hungry. And he hasn't invited me over for supper to eat with him. And John doesn't realize what he's got to do because of the pet dog that he lost. He's devastated. I know one thing. If my little baby that's here, my little Yorkie dies, I'm going to cry a lot. Because she's been trained as a service dog. She's only 4 pounds and she's a royal pain in the rear end. Now, Michael is another case that he hasn't eaten his lunch and it's bothering him. He's really, really annoyed and I'm going over to the bridge and I'm going to drop in. Hey, John, if you want to go swimming, bring a bathing suit. I don't have an extra one. Jane, I'm going to mute you. Thank you. I just muted Jane. So, the young lady that has the black and white blouse on and is going like this, yes, I can see you too, but since I can't really pronounce your name very well, I can't use you as a victim. And I realize that you got a problem. You want attention, and I'm giving you the attention that you want, and I'm saying good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you so that you know that we see you. you know that you are on live camera and you're being recorded both on YouTube and on Zoom. Excellent. Excellent. Michael, I might get that young lady to cook you a meal, but I don't know how far away she lives for you to get that meal. So it might take about a month to get there, but it'll get there, Michael. Don't worry about it. People, I'll call you Sarah. Okay, well, who's Sarah? Okay, hi, Sarah. Who's Sarah? Are you Sarah? Oh, somebody just moved Sarah out of the way. Okay, well, what can I say? But in the meanwhile, the idea is, how am I going to deal with you? How am I going to deal with your issues? And if you're getting ready to jump, that's a big problem. There's got to be a problem in everything that you're doing. Now, if you look at Aramonte, he's looking down at me. He's looking at me and trying to make sure he's understanding what I'm saying. And he's finally got a smile on his face. I like that, sir. Very good. Yes, sir. Very good that you got a smile. Because I know you're paying attention to this training. And that's why we got to convince James that we need more trainings, because there is so much to learn and so much to teach that in 4 weeks, you're only getting 5% of what it is out there to learn as a chaplain. And you want to know something? I know that somebody asked for a booklet. They want everything that I'm talking about sent to them so that they could use it. I'm not sending it to them. So that they can turn, so that they can turn around and go teach people, but they're not going to know how to teach the people because they don't have the experience. They didn't get good training in their regular chaplain class. I know I'm teaching everybody that's here. We got 25 people here. And I'm teaching you things that you've never heard about, that none of you have ever heard about, and don't even realize exists as chaplains, as even as ministers, as pastors, as priests. But the idea that there is so much to learn, I'm no better than you are because I had to learn about it for myself. I came into being a chaplain a long time ago, blind. But what I have learned is one thing: never give out money to anybody. Don't promise people something that you know that you're not going to be able to get. Try to help them in the best way you can, but don't overcompromise yourself. Don't tell them that you're going to go out and get them a bed. Don't tell them you're going to go out and get them a refrigerator. Don't tell them that you're going to go out and get clothing for them. You can't make that guarantee unless you got a lot of money. And if you got a lot of money, I'd love to get paid for teaching you people. So I can start with the contributions here. Thank you. But that's the way it is. That's the way life is. Because if we promise people a refrigerator, food, clothing, and this, they're going to be knocking at your house door to come and help them. The idea, Miss Jane. Oops. Okay, Miss Jane, I think somebody is, okay. Okay. The idea. Yes, Orlando Caru, yes. It is very wrong to give false hope to people. You want to know something? That is an outstanding stating. Can somebody mute OPPO? I've been trying to, and it's not working for me. Okay. Olavy, you are so right about giving false hope. You're right. False hope should never be given. Don't overextend yourself. Don't over give yourself unless. Okay, OPPO A16K. All right, they're muted. The idea, folks, the misconceptions about everything is there more than you realize it. And you will see a lot of misconceptions. What I'm begging of you to do is, and I like what Olavy Caru said, it is wrong to give false hope to people. If we do that, we as chaplains will not be worth anything unless you have a lot of money and you want to give it away. As a matter of fact, that's probably one of the best statements I've heard in about 10 years. And you should take that statement and post it up so that people can see. It is wrong to give false hope to people. And you want to know something? Your own governments give false hope. Your elected officials give false hope. To hear it from a chaplain is very dangerous, because that means your word in the community will not be worth anything. With all that due respect, I now call up the Honorable Chaplain James Mercy. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Chief Chaplain. Please, can we put hands together, whatever you have for Chief Chaplain, for that wonderful thing he has done. Thank you so much, Chief Chaplain. I quite appreciate you. I want to quickly say this. Based on what Chief Chaplain has said, false promise. You might not know how dangerous it is. You might not know how bad effect it has on people you promise and you fail to fulfill your promise or get back to them. We'll just take from the political angle, when the politicians will come out in their campaign and say, this road, we are going to commission it in the next 6 months. This flyover or bridge, we are going to do it in the next 1 year. And at the end of the day, at the end of the tenure, at the end of the regime, you see that nothing was done. So people get disappointed because they want people to vote for them. They begin to give false promises. Please, as a chaplain, it is wrong for you to give false promise. Why? It is because God has never given false promise. And as a chaplain, as a member of the clergy, we represent God. As God has never given any false promise, Also, his ministers should not give any false promise. If you cannot do something or you're trying your best to meet up with it, you don't even need to promise. It can come as a surprise to them. Rather than promise when you are not sure, rather than promise or not able to fulfill it. Because next time if you come back and say another thing, they will not trust, neither believe whatever you have said. So it is very paramount for all chaplains to learn this, that you should not promise what you cannot fulfill at that point in time, or what you know you are not sure of. So don't give any promise for you not to bring any danger to the people, because they might see another opportunities or privileges, but they will say, because we have chaplain that has promised us, and they see you as a clergy, a pastor, they see you, as a chaplain, they will believe you more than any other person. And at the end of the day, if the promise was not kept, it will so hazardous and not helpful to them. Next time, they may not believe you. So I just quickly want to add that to what Chief Chaplain has said. Chief Chaplain, we just have to say thank you for all this you have put together. We really appreciate you. So thank you so much. Chaplain Joseph, I can see Chaplain Ojo raising up a hand. Chaplain Ojo Grace, do you have any question? Chaplain Ojo Grace, do you have any question, or you are texting your cameras and mic to know if you are really here with us or not? Chaplain Ojo Grace, we can see you. We know you are here with us. Do you want to say something? She's still battling with the cameras and things like that. We'll get back to you. Thank you so much. And Chaplain Joseph, if you're available, I want you to play that short video. Please, I want every one of us to listen to this video, and I will ask questions on this video. And from there, we're able to go to another point we have to address today before we throw it open for other questions. Chaplain Joseph, please, are you here with us? Chaplain Joseph Akinola. Chaplain Joseph.
Sir, maybe you should private chat him, sir.
Joseph, you said?
I said probably maybe you should send him a message, sir.
Somebody that do not hear my voice, how will he see a message?
He may see a text message.
All right, thank you for that advice. I will keep your advice. I will keep to it. Please, I want to say this. We are all chaplains. We are all chaplains. And we must know that a chaplain is a member of the clergy. They see us as a cleric. And that is why I quickly want to share my screen to talk more about this and for us to understand better why we call chaplain and who are we as chaplains. Permit me to quickly share my screen. Please, I want you to be with me and let's go along together. Where are we? Yes. Please, can you all see my screen?
Yes, we
I
can
want us to
see
be
you.
on the same page. Can we see my screen, please?
Yes,
Yes, we can see.
yes, we can see.
I will. Please, Chaplain Dr. Faith. Chaplain Dr. Faith,
I'm with you. I'm with you, sir.
Hello. Elisomi Oluwayemisi, are you with us, please? Chaplain Oluwayemisi, are you with us?
Yes, good evening.
Thank you. Chaplain Jane. Chaplain Jane, is she with us? Chaplain Ignatius, are you with us here, please? Chaplain Ignatius, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here, sir.
Chaplain Akone Caleb, are you with us, please?
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
Yes. Chaplain Ogunyemi Samson, if you are here with us, then Chaplain Ojetayo Simeon, are you here with us, please? Chaplain Jonathan Praise, are you with us? All right, please, I want to call all our attentions to this, and it's very important, and I want to ask questions after this, and I want you to ask any question you might want to ask based on this. I want you to ask any question you might want to ask after this brief class, please. A chaplain. Chaplain Agu, can you see my screen, please? Can you read for me? Chaplain Agu. Chaplain
Yes,
Agu, can you read, please?
Yes, I can see, sir.
Please read.
Thank you, God, sir. Chaplain, originally a priest or minister who are charged of chapel, now an ordained
chapel.
Are you hearing me?
So this is how it was. This is how a chaplain originally. So if you're a chaplain, see yourself as one that people see as a priest, or they see you as a minister, or people in charge of a whatever
Now I'm thinking about
Please, can we mute our mic? Chaplain Adu.
Just trying to special
I don't know what some of us are disturbing. Hello, please. Please, let's mute our mics, please. Chaplain Jane, please, can you mute your mic? Chaplain Jane, mute your mic. Engineer Adedoyin, please mute your mic, please. Chaplain Adedoyin, can you mute your mic? I don't know why. Chaplain Joseph. Chief Chaplain, can you hear me? Please, from your hand, I don't know what's happened to Joseph. Please, from your hand, can you co-host me? Check my name and co-host.
I can hear you. I'm trying to fix some things at the back end. Yes, I've done it.
You can't hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you, James.
Fix, yes. Working on the back end.
Well, all right, please let me go back. Wow. Please, are we here together, please? Please, can you see my screen again?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
It's back
Yes.
now.
Thank you so
We can
much.
see it.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So now, an ordained member of the clergy who is assigned to a special ministry. We are defining a chaplain now. I know all of us want to become a chaplain, but we must understand what chaplain is all about. A chaplain is originally a priest or minister in charge of a chapel. If you have learned or studied about the history of chaplains, and Martins, the Tor, and about the magic cloak that was kept in the chapel, those people those ministers that begin to watch over it, keeping it, they begin to regard them as chaplain. That is a priest or minister in charge of the chapel. And from there begin to spread all over the world. But now, anyone called a chaplain is being regarded as a clergy, a member of the clergy, who is assigned to a special ministry. I repeat, who is assigned to a special ministry. In your various churches, you can be appointed, ordained, commissioned as a chaplain, and you will be sent out to minister in another ministry. I also proceed, a chaplain is traditionally a cleric, such as a minister, a priest, a pastor, rabbi. Pro-it, this is for the Jewish, and imam, for Islamic. So they regard a chaplain as a cleric. So when you say you're a chaplain, they see you as a minister of God. Also, a chaplain can be regarded as a lay representative of a religious tradition. A lay representative, that is a worker in the church. That brother, you say, that brother Simeon, brother Samson, Sister Jane, Sister Christina, a lay representative of a religious tradition. Also, that is being attached to an institution. Maybe we are now going out for evangelism programs in a hospital, and a prison, or military units, intelligence agencies or units, in the embassy, in the school, labor union, businesses, police department, fire department, universities, sports clubs, private chapels, and here and there. We will regard them also as chaplains. We are saying this for you to know that a chaplain is not a restricted type into a church where it's being ordained or being commissioned to serve. We have taught you last time that a chaplain, the difference between a chaplain and a pastor. A chaplain is a community base, while a pastor is a church based in the church. So now we are putting it straight to you that a chaplain in any religion, any setting, organization, or in any institute of chaplains or college of chaplains, once it's been ordained, appointed, he or she will be sent out to hospitals, prison, embassies, military units, police, labor unions, schools, fire departments, colleges, private institutions, meaning that they are to minister in those secular and religious organizations. We proceed. Though originally the word chaplain referred to the representative of the Christian faith, it is now also applied to people of other religions. Now you can see that it is not only meant for Christians, like A question somebody asked the other time: can other organizations or religion become a chaplain? It originated from Christian, as it's been said, but not as that again. It is now applicable to all other religions. Just name it, all other religions. So we have chaplains. In Islam, we have chaplain, Jewish. For your information, in case you don't know, the chief chaplain training us is not a Christian, is a Jewish, and here performing a duty as a chaplain in a secular institution now. We must understand this, that as a chaplain, you are not to discriminate. You have to promote unity, you have to promote peace, you have to promote the culture of chaplaincy. Then we proceed. As in case of chaplain, serving with military forces or an increasing number of chaplaincies at US universities, meaning that now there are more chaplains that are not priests, that are not ministers, but that have been trained in universities, colleges in recent times, that has become a chaplain. Many lay people have received professional training in chaplaincy, just like some of us come together now. Some of us are not pastors. Some of us are not trained pastors. Some of us are not trained ministers. But in one way or the other, we have been trained to become a chaplain. That's what we are talking about here as a layman from a college or institution or organization. We have been trained to become a chaplain. And now, some of us has been appointed to work in schools, hospitals, companies, universities, prisons, and elsewhere alongside or instead of official member of the clergy. I like this. This is quite differentiating it. This is quite differentiating it. All these lay representative, all lay people that become a chaplain, they are working alongside or working instead of an official minister, ordained priest, ordained minister in all secular organizations or schools or institutions or companies. Because as a chaplain, they see you as a member of the clergy. They see you as a priest, a pastor, a shepherd, a minister. But some of us are not. But you have been trained as a chaplain. Is allowed as well. And this is what we are talking about. There's concept of multi-faith team, secular, generic, or immanent chaplaincy are also gaining increasing use, particularly with healthcare and educational setting. Now, some of the healthcare workers are not priests, are not pastors, are not ministers, but they have been trained as chaplain in healthcare. So they begin to work in hospitals as healthcare workers. So you must understand this and be able to differentiate. In the 4th century, chaplains, in a Latin word, capellani, were so called because they kept St. Martin's famous half-cape, capella. This sacred relic gave its name of the tent and later to the simple oratory or chapel where it was preserved. We are talking of why they've been called chaplain. They were the one in the chapel looking after or taking care of this famous half-cape. If you have not learned about famous half-cape, we have it in this training manual here. It talks more about origin of chaplaincy and St. Martin's, where and how chaplaincy originated. It were added that clerics were guided by chaplains appointed by the king during the, all right, let me move further. In their duties, chaplain does generally become more identified with direct service to the monarch as advisor in both ecclesiastical and secular matters. Now, they regard chaplains. And this is where palace chaplain generated from. Chaplain begin to minister to the monarch, that is the kings, the royal families, in both ecclesiastical and secular matters. They begin to, minister to them in the spiritual aspect, biblical, in the secular matters as well, maybe counseling and other stuff. The practice of king appointing their own chaplains spread throughout Western Christendom, meaning that kings in their palaces need of chaplains in their various palaces. They need chaplains. Many of the royal chaplains were appointed to bishopric and the highest office of the church. So they are not just member of the clergy, they are the highest offices in the churches. All those royal chaplains are appointed to the monarchies and the palaces. We must understand is that every palace needs a chaplain. And down to present to British monarchs, their own rules, even the bodies at White House, they have chaplains. Still upon the members of the Royal College of Chaplains. Those duties now involve little more than preaching occasionally in the chapel royal. That is, it's not just preaching. Chaplaincy is not just about preaching. And chaplains in the palaces or the monarchs are not just preaching. You are to look after their religious rites, the worship service and things like that. You are to look into their matters. Whatever happens, the chaplain must be in charge of that palace, ecclesiastically or secular. You are there as a father to that royal palace. A modern usage of term chaplain is not confined to any particular church or denomination. I will repeat this. A modern usage of the term chaplain is not confined to any particular church or denomination. You will not say a chaplain is our church. No, chaplain is universal. Chaplain is all over the world. So it's not confined to any particular church. Clergy or ministers appoint to a variety of institutions or corporate bodies. So as a chaplain, you must have a place you are working. You cannot just be a chaplain and start roaming about the street. That's what we're talking about here. You can't be a chaplain and begin to roam about the street, walking at a scatter, and you go to your church on Sunday and you come back and you have your uniform, you hang it for ceremonial purposes. The first question is, as a chaplain, where do you serve? As a chaplain, where have you been appointed to? As a chaplain, what do you do? This is part of what you must learn if you say you are a chaplain. And that is why you are here. After this training, you are not just going home. Thank God we have your numbers. We will make sure we fix you where you will work as a chaplain. We fix you into other secular institutions, secular organizations, where you can minister as a chaplain. Then we proceed. There are some corporate bodies, such as cemeteries. You don't know, cemeteries has chaplains. Cemeteries has chaplains. Prisons has chaplains. Hospitals, schools, colleges, universities, embassies. Nothing stops us from going to embassies to operate as a chaplain. Legations and armed forces. In the army, we have chaplains. Air Force, Naval, they have chaplains. In the police as well, they have chaplains. Usually are called chaplains. We call them chaplains. We proceed. Chaplains serve in the armed forces of most countries. generally as commissioned officers. Those chaplains you see in armed forces, in the police, generally they are commissioned officers who are not required to bear arms. I will repeat this again because of our people in Africa. Chaplains serve in the armed forces of most countries, generally as commissioned officers who are not required, I repeat, who are not required to bear arms. Chaplains in the armed forces, chaplains in the police are not required to bear arms. They don't carry rifles, either small or big, because they see them as priests. They are from Protestant churches, they are from Roman Catholic, they are from Jewish chaplains, served in the armed forces. This is a materials from United States, where the chaplaincy comes from. So if you are here in Africa, you are here in Nigeria, and somebody tells you that yes, the chaplain now they will soon give us gun. Government will give us gun now. You should know that such person saying such a thing is not a trained chaplain. He doesn't even understand what he's talking about. But as a chaplain, you are not required to bear arms. Chaplain is not required to bear any harmful ammunition. You must take note of that. A chaplain performs basically the same function in most armed forces. A chaplain in the U.S. military must furnish and arrange for religious services and administrations, advise his commander and fellow staff officers on matters pertaining to religion and morality, administer a comprehensive program of religious education, serve as counselor and friend to the personnel of the command, and conduct instruction classes in the moral guidance program of his service. This is the primary role duty of a chaplain. This is the primary duty of a chaplain, to furnish and arrange religious services, administrations, advice, pertaining religion, pertaining morality, the moral now. Then you administer comprehensive programs on religious educations. Serve as a counselor. They must see you as a counselor. In this handout, we have pastoral counseling that we got to learn. So all these are what we should learn as a chaplain, and not to fool ourselves any longer. Please, wherever you are or wherever you meet yourself or whatsoever you have to learn here, please, let's learn it well now. That a chaplain is a member of the clergy. A chaplain do not bear arms. And because of our people that love to be in uniform, like somebody that told me some time ago, last week, he said there was one old man that came to one funeral, a chaplain funeral. He saw the way the chaplain was, the funeral was, and how he was buried. Saw people in uniform, white uniform, saluting, marching here and there. The man said, please, I cannot get a form. It was, I'm sure it was that day he bought his form, a chaplain form, that he wants to become a chaplain. Because when he died, he wants to also have this befitting burial. So that old man has to become a chaplain because of that befitting burial. And he bought uniform, he paid. And I was told that when he died, truly, even they did greater than what he saw. He was buried gloriously. Some people join chaplaincy because of this. Because they saw people in uniform, they saw ranks, they saw this. But the primary roles, duty, and responsibility were missing. So we are here for this refresher course to call ourselves back. Chaplain is a chaplain. Chaplain is originally a priest or minister. Chaplain is a member of the clergy. The primary duty of a chaplain is to conduct religious programs, religious educations. Chief chaplain is showing us, please, can we see chaplain ID card, please? Look at the chief chaplain ID. Ordained minister, clergy. This is the chaplain ID card. This is chaplain ID card. Thank you so much, Chief Chaplain. If you can have that from US, where chaplain originated from. Some of our ID cards now, if I say you show me your ID card, I know say well, let's start. Rank here, we will see Brigadier, Colonel, I Chief, Doctor, Ambassador, full general before your name. Thank God that we are all generals. But is that how we have it done in the Western world where it came from? So we must learn this and we must go back. And if you are chaplain general here and you have your formation, please go back and retrace the foundation of chaplaincy and correct the abnormalities and let us get it right. We have some chaplain organizations competing with the military chaplaincy. Who told you? You are not in the, you are not in the army, you are not the navy, you are not in the air force, military chaplain. And they begin to carry around, carry uniform. And you want the armed forces to be happy with you. They won't. So we must redefine ourselves as chaplain. At this junction, I would like to throw the door open for people that may want to ask questions. I know, and I want to hear questions from Chaplain Yemisi Ilesami. I want to listen to questions from Professor Dr. Faith Alfred, because those people have been disturbing me on phone. Then I will not throw it open to others. I want to hear from Chaplain Oluwayemisi first. Ilesami, I want to hear your question based on this topic today. Unmute yourself and ask question. I want to hear your question, please.
Hello, sir. I don't have any question. Well said and understood.
You must ask question, though.
I don't have question. You have said it and be well understood. We know that chaplaincy is not for show off, at least it's for the work of God. But the question I would have loved to ask is, when you said it's not only like it's not for only meant for Christian alone, it's also practiced in other religion. So I don't really get it in that aspect.
All right. Chief Chaplain will answer that briefly, because the Chief Chaplain you are seeing here is not a Christian, it's a Jewish. And he has been chaplaincy for several decades now. Chief Chaplain, please, can you say something on that, please? Chief Chaplain?
Yes, I had to unmute myself. Yes, I have to say that I am Jewish. Most Jewish people live in Israel. I was born in New York City of Jewish parents. So that means I carried on the religion of my family. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't go and take training to be a minister. But they asked me a question before they allowed me to graduate. And the question that they asked me is, how come I never said Jesus Christ and other names that are mentioned within the religion? And I said, very, very simple. I joined because I felt that this was an organization that was free and allowed Jewish people.
Go ahead, sir.
Jewish people, and that is why. And they said, you have graduated your training and you are a minister with a 97. A 97. Except they already figured out that I was Jewish. And that is why I did not invoke the name of Jesus Christ. Because in our religion, it is a different name altogether. He is called God or Jehovah. So on the top of that, like I said, originally many, many, many times, I don't discriminate based on religion, color, creed, or sex of a person. I discriminate on those people that don't allow other people to practice a religion that they want to practice. You are no better than I am. I am no better than you are. We are all human beings. And as I say, and I have said this to James before, I have 2 children that are Puerto Rican Indians. That means they are darker than I am. And every time I go to the beach to get a suntan, they laugh at me and they say, hey, Pop, you're never going to get to our skin color. I says, I know, but at least let me cook myself in the sun and get a little bit of color. And you want to know something? All my kids, I've got 2 kids that are white and 2 kids that are Puerto Rican Indian. Because I don't discriminate. I accept you for being you. I accept you for being real, a person. I didn't ask you what your training was to be here. I didn't ask you to tell me whether you're a clergy, a minister, or what. I asked you, or James asked you, to come and learn to be what a chaplain really is. Because nobody, with all due respect to your country, nobody is giving you the training that you really need. And James has bent over backwards to make sure that we get this out the right way. I may talk a lot, but I'm willing to teach so that you understand what it is to help other people. Oh, and by the way, I had no mother and no father. They gave me away to be adopted. And I became what I became after becoming a policeman, a detective, a special investigator in the Department of Justice, and a director of the Federal Task Force before I retired. I earned my wings. I went and I studied to be a minister. I went on to go on to become a chaplain, and I took both trainings at the same time. I had good people that were willing to teach me because I was coming out of law enforcement. But the greatest thing is I'm here to teach you people today. And I do it with love, respect, and honor. Your microphone, James.
Thank you, sir. Please, Chief Chaplain, please, can you show us your badges? I want to say something about that. Your badges.
Oh,
your
now
meta
you're going to
badges.
make me get up again. You're going to make an old man get up again.
Get up,
Shame
get up,
on you, James. Okay.
Get up.
I
want to show you the Chief Chaplain badges for you to know that there is no
Elisa, wake up, you are sleeping.
As either Christian or Muslim in the badge. As a chaplain, you are minister to all. And that is the point we must understand. Chief Chaplain has been a detective in several. This is
Oh,
Meta
you want the
badge.
detective badge? Wait a minute. Whoa, wait.
That is the detective Meta
No,
badge
no,
for
no.
Chief
Let me get the
Chaplain.
detective badge.
Be mindful of your earpiece. All right, this is the
detective's badge, New York City Police Department.
New York City Police Department, 3049. All right, so we can see that.
And those are all awards that I won.
Oh, yeah.
Then, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You have turned your office to the store.
This is the credentials of a federal task force director.
Okay. I need a chaplain badge, sir. I want to say something about it.
This is the this is the second chaplain badge that I got as the director of a special task force for emergencies.
All right, just hold it, please. Can we see? This is a badge that every chaplain carries. It doesn't distinguish if you are a Christian or Muslim. Whosoever you are, if you have been trained from this same organization, you have same badge. And this is
my chief chaplain's badge when I became the chief chaplain.
4 stars, chief chaplain badge. So this is all about chaplaincy. We are arranging for our badge too very soon. We will order for our badge as we have you on board. If you need this badge, we'll talk about it. As will be sent down here as meta as that. So my point is, your badge shows you a chaplain. It doesn't show any religion, and that is why we are chaplain to minister to all faith. So it is not just Christian, as we have said. Even in Nigeria now, in the Aso Rock, the White House in Nigeria, there are chaplains, and not just Christian. We have other religion chaplains. You know, we have Muslim chaplains, and they are all there. So chaplain is beyond Christianity. Chaplain is beyond Christendom, though it might started somewhere, but now it's all over the world to all other religions. So thank you, Chaplain Oluwayemisi, for that. Then I would like to hear from Chaplain Dr. Alfred. Chaplain Dr. Alfred, I would like to hear from you. Is she still here with us, please? Chaplain Dr. Alfred, has she gone for evangelism? Oh, she's not here. Because she was the one that called me and told me some things, and that's why we bring that up. Yes, Chaplain Caleb, can we hear from you, please? Chaplain Caleb.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this meeting discipline. Thanks to the Chief Chaplain, Chaplain James. You're well done, sir. My question is, now that we've seen that chaplain does not meant for Christianity alone, and if be the case, we've got to realize the fact that what we've been hearing before in our own side there is Christian own sections of chaplaincy, Muslim as gone. So every individual functions in based on their religions. Now, as we can see now, if I get it right, that Red Norm is training all different kind of religions together in this organization. I think that is the proper way. Just like as we have immigration officers, we have police.
Please,
he's having issues.
Yeah, we lost him. So when he comes back, we'll... Please, another question from anybody?
He's back, James.
All right, are you back? Please, Can you go ahead?
Yes. My question is, she expectation of all the chaplain who are claiming that as a chaplain, we should always have our own as a state chaplain. Muslim also are having their own chaplain as their religious, So we now say, okay, the new preaching is let all chaplain come together to serve the society. Or just, can you please enlighten us more on this?
All right. Thank you. If I get you right, you are asking if what can we do for chaplain bodies to come together, at least to work together in various communities. I would like to state this. Even in the United States, all chaplains cannot come together. All chaplains cannot come together. You work according to your organization. You work according to your group. Why am I saying cannot come together? In Nigeria, we don't have a ruling body. Now we are just trying to do that among ourselves. And if government says it wants to take it up, it's beyond any organization now. If government says it doesn't want chaplain again in Nigeria, there's nothing we can do. Do you understand? But if chaplain enacts that into law, that we want to have chaplain as we have National Orientation Agency. Let me repeat this. Now, I'm not talking about police or soldier or whatever. Forget about that. We have some other agencies like National Orientation Agency. If government want to have chaplain like such to be in charge of schools, counseling, or this or that, the government has power to do that. And that can bring chaplains together to serve the government. And through the government, they serve the people in the community. So it now depends on individual. It depends on individual that join the program. But as it is now, there's nothing like that in the government. But what we are doing now amongst ourselves, we are trying to bring all chaplain bodies together in Nigeria. We are working on that. And if God helps us, we are able to make that done, we can approach the government and tell them our objective. And from there, the government can buy their gun and enact that into law. So that is what I would just say to you. But aside from that, each organization must work according to the nature of chaplaincy and not to start imitating other military formations. So that is what I would just say for now. So thank you.
Let me add something to that, James. Let me add something. No matter what your religion is, no matter whether it's Islamic, whether it's from another religion that you've never heard of, regardless, we want to bring everybody together. That is why most organizations in the United States are what they are doing. They used to give out crosses in the middle of the badge, crosses, Jewish stars, other type of religious. They are eliminating them very slowly because they're very expensive. The badges are very, very, very expensive. And what they are doing is they're making one seal. They're not using a religious seal. They want people to be a chaplain. To be a chaplain, you don't need to have a cross, a star, or any other design specifying a religion. We want to keep it as an open chaplaincy, and may God bless you all. Back to you, James.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, any other question from anyone, please?
Yeah, question
Another
from.
question? All right, go ahead.
Okay. My question goes in the area of taking care of the people as a chaplain, because in my own understanding, there are some places, some communities we go to take care of the people. We now see that some of the people in the community, the young boys, the young girls, are just roaming about. They have nothing to do. And we now try to devise another means of taking care of them, because you cannot be giving somebody food all the time. You need to like empower the person. Is it right for a chaplain to empower people? Like someone want to go and learn a handwork as a chaplain, if the group have the capacity, you like empower them, go and learn how to do hairdressing, go and learn how to do welding work, go and learn how to do tailoring work, so that you can be able to have food on your table, not we coming to be giving you food all the time. Because when we go into some communities, most of them complain that they don't have anything to do. If you give them food, after eating 1 week, 2 weeks, they will call again, they need more food. So we decided to like, let's see how we can empower them. Is it good for chaplain to like empower people so that they can be able to have something on their own? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Chaplain Michael.
Yeah.
Are you with me, please?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know you are just telling us what you are doing. That's what we're telling us now.
Please, the network.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That is the work of a chaplain. If you know where Chaplain originated from, and Martin is told, he was passing by a street and he saw a beggar in the cold rain.
Yeah, I know.
Falling heavily. He has nothing to offer. As a Roman soldier, you know, the clothes there, just that red. If you have seen, watch this movie before, their movies. That white, something like a cape, long one. He rented it into two, share into two. He now gave the beggar one to cover himself.
Yeah.
That's all what Martins did. And he left. So when he got to, he saw somebody in the dream that came. He said, do you know me? He said, no. I am Jesus. The one you gave your Alfred to. So what I've just asked now, it is what a chaplain should do every day.
Okay.
If you have heard about the 4 chaplains, they have their life jackets to save themselves. But when they saw that there were no more life jackets and they see up more people, they were just 4. They removed theirs and give it to others for them to be saved. And the 4 chaplains prefer to die and give out their life. So it's part of what we are talking about that a chaplain should do in our various organizations, and not to start competing with soldiers, with military personnel. We are ministers. We are members of the clergy. General Magdalis, your phone will fall down. General Magdalis.
Yes, sir.
Please don't let your phone fall down. Yes,
no.
I care about you. I know you are in the camp. I know you are in the camp. Please don't let your phone fall down.
I'm hearing you.
That is what we must do all the time. Chaplain Mike, do you hear that?
Yeah,
if you have opportunity of putting that together, it's a very beautiful program. Very beautiful program.
Yeah, I understand you. I understand you very well, Chaplain James. You know why I'm asking? In Nigeria, we have a lot of chaplain with different names and personalities, big generals, like you said. I was actually battered and battled with some of them by doing that. That is not what we're supposed to do, because I feel that with the numbers of chaplain we have in Nigeria, if we all carried out this simple instruction and simple duties as a chaplain, so many things would take place. Because when I heard you over saying that Lecnium Chaplain is trying to bring all the chaplain in Nigeria, it's a very good idea. It's a very, very good idea, the best idea so far. But there will be a battle, because I know why I'm saying so. There will be serious battle. I pray that God help us. Yeah. Thank you.
We are already facing
Yes.
the music.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
Dr.
We
James,
are
I
already
want
facing
to
the
talk.
General Samuel, you want to say something, please? General
Hello?
Samuel Magdalene.
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you.
Are you trying to say something?
Yes.
Are you trying to say something, sir?
Yeah, I'm trying
Go
to say
ahead,
something. Yeah. My question, I'm directing it to Chief Chaplain.
I'm listening.
Yes. So, as this, my brother just said now, Ambassador Michael, we have different type of chaplaincy in Nigeria. Obviously, changing is inevitable, but it will take time for us to come together. It's gradually, because I know some organization will not accept it.
Well, let me explain one thing, Samuel, with all due respect to you, sir.
Yes.
Let me explain something. I am not looking to change the world in one day. And I realize that Rome was not built in one day.
Yes.
But what I do realize that everybody walking around in uniforms has a tendency of scaring people, and people impersonating police officers, military officers. And that is what, and I'm just showing you, I just raised my shirt here. You want to see what my uniform is in the United States? Here, look at my screen. And it says,
yeah,
Colonel Peter Smith and a chaplain's badge on the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And on the back, it says chaplain.
Yeah.
That is my uniform.
Correct.
That's my uniform. I'm not criticizing what other people want to do, but reality is the economical situation is one thing. The economics of buying a uniform and maintaining a uniform is another thing.
Yeah.
And chaplains don't get paid. So again, I can't tell you what to do in Africa. That's James's problem. And James, I'm sure, will bring a solution when he can. I love giving James all my problems. But why must I wear a uniform to preach?
No.
The only uniform that a priest or a reverend wears is a collar around their neck. They don't have badges and ducks on top of their head or feathers on top of their head or chickens, whatever. The idea, in many places they say, okay, you could use a blue shirt and a khaki pair of pants. In other places they say use a blue shirt and a blue pair of pants. Some people get dressed up like policemen, but they're finding out that it's dangerous.
No.
Be dressed up like a policeman. You can be shot.
Okay.
So the idea is, and I've got a thing up here. I got a thing that goes up on my shoulder when I used to wear a uniform that has 4 stars on it. But right now I haven't polished that in 15 years, so it's black. But they were gold, nice, beautiful gold stars. And then they changed colors because I don't wear a uniform. but I don't think I need a uniform to preach or to help people.
No.
That's my way of
Yes.
looking at it. I
Okay.
respect whatever rank you may have or a position that you may hold. But in life, sir, with all due respect, when you and I were born, we didn't have computers and we didn't have cellular telephones. And now you're talking either on a computer or a telephone. And that's called moving ahead in life. And that's what we need to do as chaplains, with all due respect to you, sir.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chief Chaplain. Yeah, it is not good for a chaplain to put a uniform to go and preach. He's not a police leader, he's a soldier. He's a servant, as a priest, he should help people. He can appear in an ordinary form. You see himself or people see him that this person is part of them.
Yes, I agree with you, sir. 100%.
Yeah.
And sometimes, sir, if you're wearing a uniform and you're going into a community that has a lot of problems, somebody may shoot at you because you have a uniform on.
That's another point that in terms of crisis, and you put on your uniform to go there. Yes, I'm a chaplain. I want to help out. The landlubbers, the people that are there that doesn't even understand who is police, who is not police, can bring out any harm to injure anyone on uniform because they see you as government official. They see you as a threat. They see you as a police. They don't even want to know where you are coming from.
Yeah.
So it is very, very dangerous. And that is why you see detectives. They don't wear uniforms. Intelligence. They don't wear uniforms to carry out their smooth operations. So we must learn from that too. It's not all about uniform. And we should stop as the chaplain looking for organization that will be using gun. Are you a security personnel? Are you a vigilante group? Are you a Motekun? Are you what are they called? This Stampart, Chaplain Michael. Those
ESN.
Are you?
Are you one of the IPO?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So as a chaplain, you must see yourself as a chaplain, as a member of the clergy. So this is part of the orientation we must take back to our people. And if you have people that you have been taught together in the wrong aspect, it's time for you to bring them home. Please, I want to say this much. We are not just training from the college and let's go. That is why we have the ministry. Regnum Chaplain Ministry.
Yes.
Where we harbor in all trained chaplains from our institution. We'll give you the membership certificate and license. Oh, let me check if one of the licenses is here. This is a graduation certificate from Regnum. Please, can we see this?
Yes.
This is
yes, we can see it.
Graduation certificate.
I can't see it.
This is a license.
I cannot see Dr. James.
This is a license. License to minister as chaplain upon, you said, this is a license from chaplain. This is from the ministry. This is not a college. Regnum Chaplain Ministry. Meaning that we give you license as a minister or as a chaplain to minister the gospel of God's love and peace in Christ Jesus, to serve to humanity, service to humanity in good faith, in any religious or secular setting anywhere in the world. This is what we have as our license. And we issued this to all that graduated from college to become a full member of the ministry. And part of what we do here is what we stay here. Next week, Thursday, we are going to have another outreach, reaching out to the widows, reaching out to the less privileged in the community. It is a task we must do together. So we will not just say we are chaplains, and you have your training, you hang your certificate, you go and sit down. No time for that. We don't have time to waste. We must have vision about who we are. So thank you so much. Do you have any other question before we call it a day, please? Any
yes,
other
I'd like to just inject one thing that has nothing to do with chaplains, but Reverend Rosemary Wanja became a grandmother late last night, your time, I understand, and I don't know whether she's been able to stay in or not, but it would be nice to post something up on the platform for Rosemary Wanja of having a new granddaughter brought into her family. I heard about this late last night.
Yes, Daddy. It remains just
all right, sir.
Thank you.
Any other question, please?
I think we have done.
Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Okay, Daddy.
Any other question, please? Any other question? The assignment. Assignment for this week. Assignment, please. I'm sure you have already submitted your assignment for last week. If you have not done yourself good, you must work, because your certificate might carry percentage. So please work more on your assignments. Work more on your assignment. Yes, sir.
Dr. James.
Yes, sir.
I have sent an apology. As I told you, I'm running a course. I've just finished it today. So that's why I've not been able to. I was out of Lagos. I've not been able to do the assignment. I promise I will do the assignment. So any outstanding assignment, I will do it.
Very well, Samuel. I will accept it.
Yes, sir.
So the assignment, are we ready?
Sir,
yeah.
I'm not around last week, sir.
Hello?
I'm not around last week. I was unable to do my assignment. I was around.
Thank God you are not around and you are talking to us here. So thank God you can still do your assignment and spend it. Thank God there's no problem about that.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. I've done mine. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Jane.
Hello.
Sir, can you hear me, Jane?
I can hear you.
Okay, sir. So I remember I took an apology to assignment later.
Apology for what, ma?
Okay, my grandma tomorrow.
I think the network is bad. We can't hear you. Whatsoever apology you might want to tender, you accept any apology from anybody. Please just tender whatever apology you have to tender. And in your certificate too, we are going to tender apology too. We will write it there. We apologize that you scored 20 over 100. We are going to tender apology to you too. So every apology is welcome and is allowed, because we are going to tender our own apology too, that we are very sorry, or apology that you score 20 or 30 over 100. So that is how it's going to be. Professor Awoshika, please, can we hear from you, please? Professor Awoshika.
Sorry, sir. I joined a bit late. I've been on the. I've not been able to join early, but at least I've done 1 hour out of it.
Professor Awoshika.
Sir.
Professor Awoshika, please.
Sir.
I think it's ugly people that hide their face. Can we see your face, even for the first time?
Okay, sir. I will put it.
Ugly people hide faces. Ugly people hide faces.
Sorry, sir. Can you see me?
We are not talking, man. Let's go ahead, man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I said I'm also tending apology that I came in a bit late, sir.
Yeah, no problem, madam. We'll tender apology too. Don't worry. We'll tender apology too.
Thank you, sir.
Every apology is welcome.
No. Justice. Mercy, sir. Mercy.
Yes, I will tender it with mercy. What is Chaplain Lesomi saying? Are you also tendering apology?
No, sir. We are just joining for the first time. I wish to submit the assignment because I was not aware of the assignment.
All the assignment we have done so far, we'll forward everything on the platform. You must do everything, unless we'll tender apology to you too.
No apology. So please, can I quickly ask one question? Sorry.
All those questions will be repeated on the platform for you to do and submit. It's part of the training.
Okay, sir. Please, I have another question. Sorry.
Question or apology?
No apology. Question. We're talking of different training from different chaplaincy. So what is the uniformity? Because when we talk in my own unit, in my own chaplaincy something, we have a uniform that we wear when we want to minister. And know that can we have a uniformity for every so that it's not what they teach here will be different from what they teach in another place. So I'm just asking. I don't know whether it's possible. So I think the general uniformity we have that is the knowledge of chaplaincy that everybody is a priest. Fine. A lot of the training and what we do, how we do our things, can there not be uniformity? So that at least what any chaplaincy in this place will still be the same thing. We'll not be having different knowledge. We'll not be having different orientation. So that's just the question, sir.
Don't cry, man. Don't cry, man. I know it's painful. Don't cry, man. Don't cry. My point now is, please, can you hear me? And can everybody hear me? Please, I want you to accept this part.
Yes, sir.
As all religious bodies cannot come together, that is how all chaplaincy cannot come together. Accept that fact, and that's the gospel truth. But there are ways to go about it. When we stand as a trained chaplains and we begin to share the good news to others, I bet it with you, the way people will start coming in to hear about this truth, it will make a landmark and will be helpful to other organizations to checkmate themselves. That is what I can say about that. It is not possible for all chaplains in Nigeria to come together. I said that categorically, unless government act on that. But aside of that, as all religious bodies cannot come together, so also chaplain bodies or organizations. But what we can do, it is when we have known the truth, just like one disciple saw Jesus. He went to call his brother, I've seen the Messiah, come. This one went to come, I've seen the Messiah. Just like the woman by that well when they saw Jesus. When Jesus spoke to him, he said, "Are you the Messiah?" He said, "Yes, you are spoken it." He ran to the village to call people, come, I have seen the Messiah. This is what we are expecting us to do now. Thank God I'm not the one training. We are just adding us. This is a training from United States of America, and where chaplaincy started. We must orientate ourselves. We must help ourselves. Let's call others. In the training for January, at least we are expecting about 50 participants. We are expecting nothing less than 50 participants. And it's going to be 3 months training for basic. Let's have quite numbers of people. When they begin to hear this, there will not be a problem to you in your organizations too. But if they are not fully aware of this, they become problem. So that is what I would like to say for now. But God will help us as we proceed, helping ourselves. At least I have seen Chaplain Michael calling others, go to Chaplain Jane and some others from Port Harcourt. I have seen Chaplain Samuel Magdalis, Chaplain Ibi Dapo, Chaplain Adedoyi inviting others. That's the good news we talk about. We can do more by January. And I've told you the registration is closed for now. By January, we're going to start another. So let's begin to work on that for January. We're going to set another platform that we might begin to add other people in for January class. So thank you. That is what I will say for that. So Chaplain Lesomi, don't cry. God is in control and God will help us to settle all this. So thank you so much for joining us in this program. It has been a wonderful day and it has been a wonderful time out. And I know everyone is blessed in this training. Before we go, Chief Chaplain will tell us the assignment. And I want us to go back to the platform and say our experience. Just type your experience in today's class, type and send on the platform. From there, we're able to evaluate ourselves. And from there, we're able to know more about what you have learned and area we can adjust as well concerning the training. So thank you so much. Why I will go back to Chief Chaplain to give the assignment. And I believe Chaplain Beatrice is here with us to write the assignment. Thank you. You can go ahead, sir, Chief Chaplain.
Thank you, James. And again, remember everybody, Rome was not built in one day.
Yeah.
Whatever we're trying to do for the betterment of Africa, for the betterment that you can work and deal with people, that is what we're looking at. We're not looking to take control of Africa. We're looking to get the people to know what's involved in being a chaplain, because many people, and I have talked to a lot of people, they don't know what a chaplaincy is about. They say that they took a training and they don't know how to explain the training that they have taken. But that's beside the point. My homework assignment is going to require a one-page report. A one-page report. I want to know what you took out of today's training and what you learned. I want to know what you have taken out of this training today and what you have learned. And what are your suggestions? This is where you'll have an opportunity to put it down on paper. What you took out of the training today, what you have learned, and what are your suggestions? Because we will then use that, put it all together, make an analysis, because we are going to be giving more trainings. Thank God for that. And I want to say, even though it is not, okay, it will be typed to the platform. Yes, it is going to be typed to the platform. I'm reading the messages as they come in. It will be typed to the platform. For those who may not be in the United States, this is a Thanksgiving weekend for us. But let's have peace and hope. We had 26 people in this training today. Very good. We're down to 23 right now. But Please be safe, be happy, and be genuine to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. On a final note, the form some of us submitted, there are categories of chaplaincy. Many of us click on military chaplain. Are you a military chaplain? Please don't claim what you are not. A military chaplain is a member of the military.
If you touch this boy again,
he's a member of the force, armed forces. Who is that, please? So, please, you are not a military chaplain. A military chaplain is a member of the armed forces. Some of us shows a military chaplain, and that shows that we don't even know who we are. And added assignment, maybe we'll revisit the first one we have done. Which chaplain are you? Which chaplain are you? Or which chaplain do you wish to become? We're going to submit that too. We're going to write it on the platform. We want to know which chaplain do you wish to become? Don't tell us you're a military chaplain when you are not a member of the armed forces. So it's part of what you must learn. Which chaplain are you? So let's learn from that. So thank you so much for joining us in today's training refresher course put together from Regional College of Chaplains and Seminary in partnership with the U.S. Federal Chaplain Association, United States of America. So thank you for joining us. Same time next week, Wednesday, which is going to be the final class for this refresher course. We'll be looking forward to have every one of you on board. So thank you and God bless you. Thank you. I think
Thank you, sir.
We can unmute ourselves to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief Chaplain.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chaplain.
You can
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for today's
Thank you.
training. I will appreciate you and then the training. Thank you. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
we appreciate
See you
you.
next
Thank
week.
you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate. God bless you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Chaplain Joseph, please. Okay, we have stopped the recording. So thank you.
Okay, sir.
Chaplain Moses, thank you.
And yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Today is
We
my
appreciate, sir.
birthday.
Hey. Sorry, today is Chaplain James' birthday. She's
Happy
just
birthday.
reminding me. Can we sing happy birthday for Chaplain James? Can we sing
Happy
happy birthday
birthday.
for her?